so you worked with Baest and got the EP out. Obviously, they took a ladder pretty quick. Well, deservedly so. And you talked about how other bands kind of keyed in on that. How quickly did that happen, and you know, how much of that did you see as a result of their initial of hitting the market?
I think it took about a year or so for bands to start coming by. That EP really connected with a lot of people, and it was this interesting thing because they're a really really good live band, and they really like got a following just based on that EP that came out in 2016, and were able to purvey an idea of them being a bigger band than they were at that point, and just sounding fresh to a lot of people here. So bands, even bands who weren't like interested in the HM2 sound at all, were like, just this feels like lightning in a bottle. We want to connect to this in some way. So definitely about a year later, or maybe towards the beginning of 2018, the ball got rolling a lot quicker as that band was blowing up. My name sort of got out there as well, and they were like super hardworking guys, and they've always been that way. And so maybe a little more than a year after we cut that EP, we were doing a full-length album, and we were recording that in 2017, in the autumn of 2017. There were no talks about label release or any grand visions of touring the world or anything. We were just like, these are our greatest songs. We have this vision of this underworld we want to have connected through the lyrics and the theme of the record and the artwork and everything. It was just like so inspiring to work with ambitious guys in the metal scene, where I've met tons of ambitious folks in other genres, but metal was sort of like at least in Denmark, looked down upon a little. So I definitely think they were able to kick in the door for a lot of bands in the way that people took themselves more seriously and could view their craft as metal bands more seriously, and actually consider it an avenue of worth pursuing, and not just becoming like just a once a week practice band that plays 2 shows a year, but actually blowing up to something bigger than that. So they were definitely my ambassadors in those first years, and I got to work on a lot of great releases with them. And of course, they took a lot of influence from the Swedish scene, and they are great fans of Bloodbath, who of course sort of brought around the second wave of HM2 sounds in the late 90s, early 2000s. At least that's how I regard them.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. They definitely lit the fire again.
Yeah.